trusting yourself can be the hardest thing to do, especially if you're not used to trusting yourself, but you're used to trust other people, like, for instance, your significant other, your better half, if you have such a person in your life. But what do you do if you only have you to trust yourself and no one else? So, no one in the immediate area. What do you do? So, the reason I'm talking about this has to do with being reached out to, and I got here, I feel lonely. And this wasn't just about being sad, about missing the other better half. Hey, Mariella. This was also about if you want to join, just let me know. Then I'm going to post the invite link. So, this was not just about being lonely, this was also about not knowing who to trust. And that really spoke to me like, oh my God, yeah, what if you lose your significant other and you don't know how to trust yourself? Well, that's a major problem. And that's what I decided to talk about because I realized that, hang on, that other people are dealing with this too. And I'll tell you a little funny thing. I went for a walk just now, and during that walk, I ran into other people. I got myself some ice cream. I like to get myself some ice cream when I'm on my walk. That's sort of my reward for getting out there. And I usually sit down at a sort of terrace um, out there, and I met three guys, and those guys, um, well, they heard me talking because I was talking to Joe, who will hopefully be joining me in a little bit, and and well, they asked me what I was doing, and then they said, so I explained to them about going live, and then they said, so what are you going to do? Are you going to go live in your car? And I said, no, I'm going to walk back home, which reminded me of what the lady who sold me the ice cream actually said. She asked me, are you a bike or are you walking? And I thought that was so cool. And I am not afraid of walking in the dark. And it was like what I said to her. I said, when I was a lot younger and it was 10 o'clock in the evening and I only went from the gym to the bus stop, someone tried to pull me into the bushes, didn't work, and it's not going to work now either. So, what's the difference? Okay, I'm going to invite Mariella. She is here. Going to add her to the stream.
Hold on, Bobby.
Hello, Mariela.
Hi, how are
How
you?
are you?
Good. I didn't catch you yesterday, so I see the notification today. I was like, let me say hi to her today.
Not
So I'm
sure
here.
what you can hear right now. Yeah,
Hold
yeah.
on, let me.
I think there was problem on my side. So I'm talking about trust. Uh,
Yes,
can
I
you hear
heard
me?
you. Can you hear me a little bit? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Well, I'm talk.
Okay, great.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? And then the image was
I'm
gone.
just yep.
Interesting.
I was just
Ah,
putting
there you are
everything up
again.
so I can hear you.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. So I
Mm-hmm.
wrote down a few things when it comes to trust, and maybe we can go and talk about each of those things. So
Sure.
one of the things I've noticed is that people are likely to trust their significant other,
Mm.
which also brings me to some other point. What if we are too trustworthy and the significant other cannot be trusted at all? What do you do? And how do you find out? Yeah,
After years
exactly.
of torture, and then finally waking up and realizing, you know what? Maybe you know what? The best thing is maybe not be trustworthy. Maybe it's the best thing is like not to trust. Yeah, and
Hmm.
sometimes you know what? I think sometimes you learn, um, how to trust, or like how to like get clues of like maybe you shouldn't trust the person after like a couple years being in it, and then finally maybe having some time apart. I sometimes think that maybe like whenever you're in a relationship, either time apart can make you bring you together stronger, or time apart can actually let you realize maybe it's time for them to work on themselves and it's time for to work on yourself. So yeah.
Yeah, and
Sometimes it
also
is
if
too late.
and if you're a good match, then it's okay to be apart.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're not a good match, so one of the things I was thinking about is one of the reasons when do we know that it's not a good match is when they try to alienate you from other people. So when they say, "Oh, don't go talk to your friends, don't go to family, stay with me," those are signs on the wall. Like,
Of
oh, hang on,
course.
that's a no go.
No, like make sure you don't go. Why are you wearing? You don't look right. Make sure you get covered. Why are you wearing that? Your hair looks stupid. Anything, and to the point to get you to the point where it's kind of like you double in questioning yourself. And that's what I think sometimes people stay in relationship for so long because they want the love, even if it is not the right love. Just to be in, just to, sometimes I think we stay in relationship just to be wanted, be, even though 100% that is not love. You just want somebody to be there, just to have somebody call, somebody you can call babe.
Yes. You
And so
want
you
those
will just
arms
want
around
them.
you. You want to feel like you're part of something.
Of, yes, so you'll just accept it. And sometimes, honestly with you, I think a lot of people get lost in years of, trying to be there for the person, trying to make the person realize that they should love you. You waste years of being in toxic relationships. So I can definitely tell you on that one. I wasted almost my whole life trying to be loved.
Hmm.
And
So
you know
what
why?
would you
Because
tell?
I think it's because we don't love ourselves. And honestly with you, I never loved myself. So I always wanted somebody that to tell me they love me, even though it was not even true.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying, and I appreciate you saying so because a lot of people actually do not love themselves. That
Hmm.
that is so true. And just yesterday, I was talking to a client, and I said, "Do you trust yourself? Do you love yourself?" And he said, "No, I don't. I won't do anything for me. I'll just do things for other people." And that's
Self
when
sabotage.
yeah. And when you have people preying on other people, they sniff it out. They know
Mm.
it. They recognize it. They see
Oh
it.
yeah. You're like a target, especially if you want to be loved, or you're sick and loved. They know. And then narcissists, they seek for victims like us. So I mean, me personally, they be right there. It's like a radar. They know, there she goes.
Yeah.
And me, it's
Yeah.
like I'm a love bug, so I always end up. So that's why I haven't been in no relationship, because I'm not trying to. I got a lot of stuff that I gotta do before I get into no relationship ever again. Because once I'm in
So
love,
what would be your what would you require in order to trust other people?
Honestly, with
What would
you,
be the?
I
Hmm,
don't know. I don't know
you
because
don't know.
honestly, with you, I think sometimes me personally, I think um I'm very vulnerable. So I'm a very trustworthy person. You say, "Oh, that's cute," You just said the little cute little things. I'm already like a touch. So, um, me personally, I think one day I'm gonna definitely have somebody that, I just want to have somebody that is like one the same thing as I do. I just want to be loved. I want to be heard. I want to be respected. I just want to understood because right
You
now,
want to be understood.
and yeah, not misunderstood, understood. um
Yeah.
I wanted
Well,
I wanted it to be cared for, like not cared for in the way, well, yes too, but not, but what I mean is like I just want to be like, honey, you okay? Do you want? Can do you need some tea? It looks like you having your back is hurting. Do you want a bath? Oh my! I will jump him.
yeah. Someone said to me, I don't know about this because I don't smoke, but
Uh
he
huh.
said, you don't take one another cigarette. You ask if you can have a cigarette from someone else. And he said, that's the difference. When someone keeps taking your cigarettes, it's like a total no-go. But if the other one would like offer, like, hey, I've got something for you. Can I help you out? What do you need? He said it
Yeah.
would be such a big difference. And
Definitely, but
I,
I like the idea of the cigarettes because that shit, excuse me, that kind of like get a little bitter taste in my mouth. You will say maybe like some strawberries in a bowl or something like, something tasty. Yeah, that definitely something. I'm like a little kid. Put a little candy out there. You got me.
uh well, I think it's what it has to do is I love to respect what you were talking
Uh
about,
huh.
and of course the compliments, and the thing is, I think, does it last long term? So is it
Of
just for a
course
couple of
not.
weeks, is a couple of months, or does it last longer? And when it doesn't last longer, then you already know, oh, something is off.
No, but honestly, with you, I think personally, um, relationships these days are very hard. you know trusting somebody to actually like guard your feelings, um that definitely, it has like a more depth into it, because honestly with you, I think as a human being, we actually put so much effort into having like that other person love you the way you wanted to be loved, and not accepting what are they capable of loving. And then sometimes I think we put so much expectation on that person, on which maybe the minimum little things that maybe in their nature they never been taught, or it was never you know like they never like, what I mean, so they never like
Yeah,
wanted to express it. So maybe that little, I don't know, I cook you something, and even maybe they maybe like didn't cook it right. Maybe at that time, you didn't took it the right way. Instead of saying like, delicious, you were like, what the hell is this? It kind of like break that trust. So I think honestly with you, a relationship, trusting and commitment, or being in a point blank relationship, I think it's every day. Honestly with you, I will practice that every minute, because you need to nurture a relationship like you will nurture a flower. If you don't water
yes,
it, it don't grow. And if you think the
yes,
grass is greener on the other side, believe me, it's not.
yes.
Because
And and for
go ahead.
those who are like willing to do all that, but the other one isn't because they are too trustworthy, there we go. It's
Yeah.
also important that the other half also respects you and gives you what you need and listens to you and does the little things as well. And when the other one doesn't, you need to know, is this what I want? Is this acceptable? Did he promise me or did she promise me those things and in the end it didn't work out? Or and then we get back to the trust, and especially over time, whether someone is really trustworthy and respectful. And of course, so have you ever talked to your friends about it before, about other relationships, like what do you think? I'm hooking up with this person, and do you think this guy is trustworthy, or did you never discuss your relationships with friends?
Let me tell you something. I personally have discussed, or they have seen the person that I ever dated or whatever. They warned me from the beginning. Don't do it. It's just me. I
Mm-hmm.
personally, I think there are some people out there that think that they can change people, or like you can
Mm-hmm.
change them or make them to love you more, or if you think you will do this more, or I'll cook more, I'll clean, I'll make sure my makeup is done, everything is situated, the person will change. Let me tell you something. And unfortunately, that's what it is sometimes. Like, Cupid is like a love bug. You know what I mean? Sometimes as a um woman getting they fall in love and they get so stupid in love that you or the only thing that you see is just the person, and you don't see nothing that they doing behind, but everybody else is seeing it. But
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have these blinds that you will change the person, and that person is yours, and that's it. You the one, you will change it, and that will never happen. At the end of the
yeah.
day, the
That's so
person
true.
is gonna be the person is gonna be the way they are. It's either they come with a package or they don't. You can make them maybe like, but you know what I hate the most, and I hate this to the core. Everybody that I ever broke up with personally in any type of relationship, they want to say sorry after, like, either I'm in a relationship with somebody else, they fully marry. I gotta, like, I'm not doing that, because either, like, you know what I mean, like, I already put my effort into you. You want me to open my heart after you broke my heart? It's so hard for me to go backwards. It's like I
Yeah,
can't. I
I
will
get
never
it.
trust you the same way unless I kind of like you. Because I think there's maybe one or two that I actually did like. So I'd be like, okay,
Well, if I
But
listen
no,
to
no, they're
you,
taken. They're taken. I just gotta forget about that.
I think women can fall for it, but men can too.
Yeah.
I know men who
Ugh.
are just as gullible when they're in love as
I
we
am a
women can
gullible.
be.
I'm a little princess.
Yeah,
I ate little
so
pieces.
and it's true, once your trust has been damaged,
It's
and
done.
they're no longer
It
with you, they usually realize, like, oh, but hang on, oh, you this did and the
no,
other, oh, that was actually kind of
no,
cool, you know. So
no,
just maybe we should try and reunite, but
no.
there's a reason you broke up. There's a
Yes.
reason you broke up, and I mean that's very important to know. So here's the thing: what you also said. You said my friends knew. My friends already saw
Oh,
it,
they
and
know.
I think that's one of the most important things that we can always do when we don't know which decision to make, whether it involves someone else or another big decision. Talk to other people about it because they don't have the blinds on, they're not emotionally involved, so they can
Mm.
see it from distance and they can actually go back and forth with you about, okay, this makes sense, this doesn't make sense, have you thought about, so get that support, and especially when you're um, totally madly in love, you won't see, but also when you want something
Oh, sorry,
specifically.
I'm laughing, but I'm
Yeah, but
listening.
that's good.
I'm laughing though.
Yeah, but also when you want to go after a really big dream, and you're like, oh, I heard about this and only I have to do. Well, maybe check if, sometimes people say if it's too good to be true, then maybe you should be a little bit more careful.
That
and
is
and
true.
that doesn't mean that you can't go after the things, but it does mean, like, okay, look from a distance. If someone is there for you, or this opportunity is there for you, it will be there in the long run. And of course,
Yeah.
everybody always says jump and do this right now, but there's something to be said about, taking one step at a time, and thinking things
But guess
through,
what?
like, okay.
Yes, I'm listening, lady. I'm sorry, my dog. She's throwing stuff up
um
here.
Yeah. So one of the things I concluded was, if we can set guidelines, so this is
Mhm.
what we consider acceptable, or this is what we want out of something,
Mhm.
whether it's a relationship or something we want to achieve or something we want to do, and we set our intention, but specifically we check our guidelines. What do we consider acceptable? So that's one of the questions I had before. When you start with someone, and like you said, you cannot change the other person. Maybe you can influence the other person in the long run, but you cannot expect them to change. It doesn't work that way. I mean, you can offer them the world and still they won't change. It's like
They won't.
what you said. People have their own package of events, of things that have formed them, have created them, and as a result, they may act one way or another. And sometimes it's about teaching them, like showing them, hey, this is the way things can be done. But other times, I mean, especially when they've been disappointed a lot of times, then trust will be something which is very difficult. So guidelines, like, okay, what is acceptable for you when it comes to respect, for instance,
Mhm.
again, and also like, so we can talk about a million things. Going from finding the next partner, especially when you actually have had one who was very trustworthy, after
Mhm.
having had others who were not trustworthy, it's hard,
Mhm.
to go for another one. Like, oh, do I want that? But a totally different comparison, and not talking about partners, could be when someone tries to talk to you, say online, and then they come, hi, how you doing? Are you married? Do you have kids? The moment that you hear those things, I'm already like, who are you? And who the do you think that you
You
can
know,
have this? Are you going a little bit quickly?
I
And
always
it's,
I hate that. I hate that
yeah,
online stupidity because hi, how you doing? What's your name? You got kids? I don't reply. I do not reply because before, honestly with you, if you ever interested in somebody, don't you like want to read the page first, look through the stuff, see how psychotic that person is, and then come say hi to me. You already know my name. Know if I have 3 or 5 kids because I'll be stalking you if I like you, and then come to try to say hi, how you doing. I do not answer because you know what, it always goes the same. Hi, how you doing? How many kids you have? Are you single? I mean, I post so many things about single stuff. Like, look at my page. I feel like I waste my time. If you cannot even know my name or how many kids I have, then there is no need for me and you to talk. I'm sorry.
yeah, that's a very good one. So yeah, so when people also when people are like being pushy, you can trust me.
Ugh.
Just the mere fact that people can say you can trust me, for me
Yeah.
that's a major red flag. So I've heard reasons of people
I'm
being
gonna marry
trustworthy
you.
because of religion.
I want to marry
Religion
you.
was a good one. Marry you. Well, oh yeah, in the first week or something. Did you hear that
No, the
actually?
first day. Not even. I've been dreaming of you. I'm like, okay, but I have not. So I don't even know who are you.
Yeah, I love you. That's a good one. Within a day.
I love you. Yeah, I get everything. I get everything. But honestly with you, unfortunately, Unfortunately, if you ever like went through a relationship, or if you ever went through like not being able to trust somebody, or you went through like relationships that are being broken, like either like an in and out relationship, like yes no yes no for so many years, it kind of like it comes to a point where you're not looking for love, and maybe sometimes it might be the right person, being a gentleman, what's your name, but because of bitterness of, or like maybe of like here go another one, you kind of like block that from coming in. But honestly with you, I personally, I think I want to like, if I ever fall in love, I actually had to see you in your eyes, and then we see each other, and then that's how it got me in trouble. Because
Yeah,
over the
especially.
internet, I don't care about the internet. You tell me I'm beautiful, you telling 50 women they're beautiful, so it don't matter.
Well, yeah, and that's of course the thing. If in online it can be over the top.
Yeah,
Whereas when you, of course, meet someone one on one,
yeah,
and
I would
especially when
prefer
you've
that.
experienced the opposite, then you
Yeah,
know that's not realistic. That's not what someone is like. And then usually, the trust and the love that starts to build,
it's built.
and then it starts with being comfortable around one
Hmm.
another and actually asking in-depth questions, like being
Yeah,
really interested in someone. And when I ask something, just going back to the idea of people scamming others. um so one of the things I hear then is like, yeah, I'm stationed, I'm a doctor, and I'm like in Afghanistan or wherever it is.
I'm in the army.
Yeah, exactly. And then I say, okay, so what did you encounter today? And then it's like, and then they go on. They
Oh,
don't even explain it. They just make it sort of, and then I'm like, you're not the real thing. If you can tell me what it's like over there and what it means to you, because
mhm.
you can tell me that if you're in the army, that it doesn't do something with you,
Yeah,
that
they are
it cannot be easy. And if
no.
someone is not capable of telling you just a little thing
I don't even
about,
want to know nobody from the army, because honestly with you, they're damaged. I'm
yeah,
damaged. That's like me getting into another damage situation. So that's the only
well,
problem. Sometimes when you damage, you attract damaged people and you think you can change them. And sometimes you not. You either become more damaged than you already are. And and then you think you can change the person. You want the person to change, but you can't change somebody that does not want to be changed. You only can change
no,
yourself.
that's true. But
Mm.
there are also people who have been damaged or traumatized and did work on themselves. So
Yeah.
we can't rule out everyone. But yeah,
No.
I do get what you're saying, and especially I feel for those people who have met their partner and then they went into the army and they
Mhm.
they experience all these things, and then when they come home they can't let go.
They're not the same. It's like a
Yeah,
trauma because, they are put, soldiers are put in the line to, the first thing that they ever thought is make sure to shoot. So it's basically to protect themselves. So what they're
yeah.
basically doing up there is just shooting. And in order
Hmm.
to shoot somebody, you're gonna have to be able to transfer yourself into a killer, because I don't know somebody in the right mind can just go and just shoot something. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the whole thing. They can't. But when you're being attacked, and especially I
Yeah.
heard stories about people who were confronted by children, you know,
Yes,
teenagers with
Iraq, right?
weapons, and they
Yeah.
were like, "Okay, I'm not going to shoot the kid, then I'm going to be killed. What do I do?"
No, but they are trained. They trained kids, especially in different countries. They train them from since they were little. They train them from babies to become killers, because they
Yeah.
take them. They take basically they either kill their mom, or they kill their dad because in some countries boys are men, in a lot of countries boys are like almost like an idol, you know what I mean?
I
And
know. Yeah,
especially girls,
aren't worth anything. They
yes,
are good for producing babies.
that's it. That's all
That's
we are
it.
good for, and we're good at it. So, but
And
they are
keeping
made
the house
for.
clean.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing all that. I'm gonna get me a maid. As soon as I have some money, that person is gonna be running around with that little one, so she can pick up everything that she throws out. No, I'm joking.
Yeah,
But
but
yes.
when it comes to certain people, I know what you mean. Certain people think, they have a different idea about what men and women are supposed to do.
Yeah,
Um,
they,
yeah,
you know,
and I get it. Some of those kids are basically they're abducted. The whole village. I didn't want to go there actually today,
no,
but
and
it's
you know
true.
what?
It happens, and when you see it as a soldier and you're not prepared for this, I mean, someone said, I read this, I don't know if it's true, but
Go
they
ahead.
said the reason why soldiers start doing things which are out of the norm, like burning villages and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
is not so much that they can, but it's the stress of the situation, like being shot at, the rage, the frustration, and then having to vent it, which
That's
was
what I'm
for
saying.
me.
Mental health should be everywhere,
Yeah,
especially if they are preparing people to kill, like especially if they send in. Not only that, being secluded, not being able to be there for with their families, not knowing, just getting up every day and just
yeah,
knowing if today will be the last day you either get shot, you know
yeah. And one of the soldiers, he said to me, the worst thing was actually being on leave, because when you
mm.
are on leave, you go back to the normal world,
Oh
there's the
Jesus.
normal things, and then you have to
Mhm.
get back and you have to change into the other person again.
Yeah,
And that's one of the hardest things. And I believe that if you've been in a war zone and you had to fight for your life, you had to fight to save other people, um, that you also need to have guidance when you get back from that war zone. You have to have someone help you process that trauma,
they
talk
don't
to other people. it's
they
it's far
don't
too little.
they
It's far
don't
too little.
And the sad part it is, I read so many like stories, and I seen a lot of stories that soldiers that come back, either they become homeless, suicidal, or because of all the trauma, all they feel,
Yeah,
all that, like the nightmares, they become addicted because, honestly with you, in order to be able to kill in the different countries, they actually do drugs. You
yeah,
can't go kill
especially
somebody
when
just
it keeps repeating in
I'm
your
sorry.
mind, and you need to keep on going. Yeah, that it's true.
That's true.
Yeah, a lot of people start drinking just to forget those memories, not think
Yeah.
about it, and
No,
that's
of
the whole thing.
course not.
So let's get back to the topic of trust.
Yes,
Um,
that.
and
Let's go
and
back.
I
Let's get
agree.
out of the
This
soldiers.
was very important. And of course, a person can change within a relationship. So it's
Mm-hmm.
always good to talk about what have they lived through. And I know that people don't want necessarily to open up straight away, but it does tell you, like, will I be able to handle this?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, love is amazing, but if someone has certain things,
Love is not enough.
yeah, exactly. Can
But
you
still,
handle
go,
it?
keep going, lady. Talk. I'll let you talk now.
No, no, no,
I'm
no,
sorry.
no. It's exactly what you said. Sometimes love is not enough. And that's what you need to know. And it's like you said in the beginning, um, if they are not used to certain things, like for instance, I come from a home and it's normal to celebrate birthday parties and,
Yeah,
do those little things. And then
exactly.
all of a sudden, when you are enter a relationship where that wasn't normal, and where the kids
Yeah.
always had to play in their own room. And then you're like, hey, it's my birthday. Where are all the ornaments, you know? And why is
Yeah.
there no birthday cake? Why aren't you singing happy birthday to me?
Mm.
And and those are those little things that, after a while they may come, the other may adopt it, and it's like, oh, that's actually kind of cool, Let's keep on doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But
It's like a
I think,
prenup. A
yeah,
prenup. Have you
yeah,
heard
and
about prenup? What you think about a prenup? Honestly, with you, I think personally, if I get married, I want a prenup. I'm going with my stuff.
well, actually, I do. So, yeah, and it makes sense. It makes
I'm
sense.
going
It's,
with my
it's,
stuff.
it's, if everything goes the way it is supposed to be, then you're
Yeah.
still together. So the prenup is nothing to worry about. But if
Uh,
you do get separated, then, this is your stuff, this is my stuff, and please
yeah,
stay away
because
from
that's when
my
they
stuff
fight.
because that's my stuff and I want to
They
keep it.
fight. Have you seen the fights? Have you seen couples fighting, talking about like getting
Yeah.
together with one of them? But you know what? The funny thing is, I think Amber Rose, she said she had a little, after she was with
Whoa.
she went
You're
tattoo.
frozen
Yeah, well, there is the girl that has the same
on my
haircut as mine.
end.
Yes, and she has like a tattoo right across her forehead. I don't know what the hell this is, but just to let you know about relationships and all this stuff, she realized that they marry, blah blah blah, separated, ugly divorce, and she said, I will never get married again because being divorced was the worst mental strain that did to herself, that she legit like went bonkers. And then that's why, a lot of relationships, you break up, you end up getting haircuts, you end up getting addicted, you end up putting tattoos all over your place.
Hmm.
You end up not being able to trust again. So yeah, so
Yeah, and
it's
one of the first things when I broke up was the first relationship where we were in one house. One of the things they said is now you can still talk to one another. Now you need to write down all the stuff.
hmm,
Actually, that was a good one, to think about. And that's
hmm,
why it's so important that before you start living together in a house, you actually think about, okay, so what were to happen? Say it doesn't go right. How are we going to
yeah,
handle this? And those are the hard talks. But it's not
it's
always
necessary.
sunshine.
Unfortunately, these days is a must. Now, I don't know, maybe when I was 18, I can love to go blind and just be like, oh, I'm in a relationship. Now you're gonna be, it's like almost a questionnaire. How many kids do you have? Do do you like to stay in or go out? Yeah, you know what I mean? Check, 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 and then maybe, they a few of them, or like question of five of them, and then okay, I can kind of relate to that one.
Well, that's why the guidelines are so important and talking to other people. So,
Yep.
for instance, what I said at the beginning, when they try to alienate you from your family and your friends, the one you actually
Reflex.
use to talk about it, oh, you need to run. The moment they say your family is bad for you, your children, stay away. Your ex, no way. Other women or men, don't, and no,
Mm-hmm.
that's when that's not healthy. That's when that you need to go away from that person, because the one you want to talk to and you want to figure out, like, is this healthy? Do I know if it's going the way it should? If that new partner is trying to get you away from all of that, then you already know that there's something wrong in that picture. But also, when you try to change yourself for the other person and you stop doing because the other one likes to stay at home while whereas you want to be going out, all those things, like when you change yourself to accommodate the other one, That's
Mm.
already also a no-go.
Yeah.
And I do believe that when you have guidelines set for yourself, like, okay, so if I ever were to be in another relationship, they have to accept me with the tattoos, of course. It's not like I can get
You
rid of the
forgot your
tattoos that
face to.
easily.
You heard me. You forgot your face today. The little cute
Mm.
little
Well,
today.
actually, I didn't forget it. It's a filter I use on Instagram. It's from
Yes, I
Kat
love
Von
that.
D. Yeah, I love it too. So I actually have a deal with the tattoo artist. I need to
Oh,
go there during the day, then he's going to put some on there,
no way.
which are not permanent.
Oh,
So I can see if I like it for a couple of days, so it can be taken away
I
again.
with you. It
And
goes with you, and that is gonna have to be a permanent. That's your like.
yeah, I said the
That's
same thing. I said
your
I want at least seven
your
of those.
not too much, just something cute, like a. I think you should put like a little cute little 3 or 4 little stars going like
Yeah,
that. That's gonna look so cute. Yeah, you should do
yeah,
that. Very
yeah. I
cute.
said the same thing. So
Mm-hmm.
I might go find him tomorrow and say, okay,
Yeah.
put them on my face, please, because I'm looking and I'm missing them. I'll be
Yes,
honest,
you.
I miss them.
That's your trade. That goes with you. That's lady
Yeah.
like right
Well,
there.
thank you. And
One question. When are
hmm?
you doing your book channeling?
Well, I am working on the book actually,
Great.
and it's usually when I go out and I go sit on the terrace, then I start writing. So I worked on my book again last week, and
With
I
did you do
actually
the
should take
channeling
like
with um, Kira, Kyra?
yeah,
Just
I know what you mean. Well, I use the guidelines. So the people who are wondering what are we talking about? So we were part
sorry.
of a training from Evan Carmichael. Evan Carmichael has written his book called
Yeah.
Momentum, and the one the publisher who helped him write the book, she
Mhm.
gave us a little script, and for me the most important thing was set your intention. So when you go
Nice.
start and write on your book, make sure
Mm-hmm.
that you get into the right vibe. And for me, getting in the right vibe is actually not being distracted by the normal day-to-day stuff, but actually
Mm-hmm.
go outside or be in a hotel room. But
Beautiful.
preferably be somewhere where I can have my latte and all that stuff and write
Mm.
on my book. And that way you program yourself like the moment that I change environment, that's so I did
Can't wait to
I
read
wrote a
it.
long. Ah, thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you so much.
Can't wait.
Yeah. So do you think you would be able to trust yourself again?
Honestly, with you right now, I cannot even trust my daughter to be in the upstairs without her throwing the whole entire soap. So no, I cannot trust myself, and I will not trust right now, and I'm not open to try to even think about trusting or getting into a boyfriend. I personally think I need to trust myself enough to love myself first, get myself together before I can go searching for a boyfriend, because I actually don't want to go search for him. You know what? I'm tired of searching for him.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
up there playing
I
around, so he needs to come with something. And if he does,
I know.
he
Yeah,
better come with some flowers. You have you seen that movie, um, Pretty Woman?
yeah.
Yeah, the stripper.
Hmm.
Uh huh. Well, I was one, but that's how I want.
Well, the thing, what you said about, I think it's very important. I said it to someone else as well. If you are okay with being within your own company, so spending time with you,
For
that's when you can consider getting into a relationship. But first, you have to be okay with you yourself, and you have to love and trust yourself.
yep.
And that's so important. to get there and then be able, because otherwise you're always dependent on the other person. And so
Yeah.
important to also, you know develop your own strength, especially when you have children. You
Hmm.
want to show them, like, mommy or daddy, you know this is what
Yeah.
we do when we are experiencing hard times.
Yeah. So, ouch. So yeah. So right now, honestly with you is, I'm personally, I do want love. I'm a sucker for love. But my problem is when I get in love, it bites me. So
Yeah,
if I get in
I get
love,
it.
you know what I mean, and then I get in love even if the person is not good. I always try. Everybody can tell me like, yeah, but da. I'm like, no, you don't know the real person, because honestly with you, I think people, guys, hide their true feelings, and to the world. They will
Hmm.
predict, a truly completely different person of who they predict on the internet, or like around their friends, people. But it's totally different when they are with a woman. So so me personally, I feel like I bring, you know the person, like I love the person unconditionally, so they unconditionally think that they can disrespect me. So, yeah. So right now, after all the relationships I ever been through, personally, me, I'm scared
Hmm.
of love. I'm scared to fall in love
Yeah.
again. I'm scared of, I probably missed my opportunity. Like my messenger is like at least, I don't even know, 5,000, 6,000 messages of guys fucking, excuse me, sending me like everything. But I'm not ready, and I'm not gonna. I don't want to start searching something or like start a relationship, knowing the fact that I'm not gonna pay attention to you, because right now is I'm trying to take care of me. So that's
Yeah,
where
and
I'm
that's
I'm at.
that's the good thing. I do believe that when you know how to take care of yourself, and when
Yeah.
you feel good being around yourself, being able to take care of your family, especially when
Mhm.
you have children, that's already good enough. And then if
Yeah.
someone else is there and they are willing to help you out and become part of that family, sure. But
Yeah.
it starts with you knowing what are your boundaries, what do you like, what do you need, what's the minimum you want. And it's so funny because I was thinking about how it went back in the days. So what does a person need to be? And then we would be talking about the type, the color hair, color eyes, not too fat, all
Oh
those
God,
good
I don't want to
shape.
go back to that. That's why I don't
And-
want to date. I'm like, what color? So what is your favorite color? You know what I'm gonna do?
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
actually
yeah, yeah,
gonna like
yeah.
record everything, my favorite color, what I like, and then I'm gonna like, record it, and then I play it. You wanna date me? And check it. If you think you are that you can fit all of that, then inbox me. If not, at least know my name before you even try to like say hello.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Well, I'm going to let you go. I love
Yeah,
talking about trusting
thank you for
instinct,
lady.
not
Thank
changing
you for your time.
yourself, about setting boundaries, and what also I think one of the most important things is that you cannot change someone else. And in
No.
addition, you don't want to change yourself all the way that you are no longer yourself anymore. But when you are on your own and you are capable of becoming stronger, facing all those challenges, wow, you become a great role model to the next generation. And that's what I do believe. And then when someone comes into your life, it's an addition. It's not a necessary part, but it's more like an addition. So
Yep.
I believe that's a
Um,
good thing.
and lady, stay tuned. My book is coming out on August 22, 2022, because we are gonna
Oh,
be talking about, and I will be including including you, and we are gonna be talking about boyfriends because I got plenty of those. So in the book,
Well,
and
you
you know,
heard
that's
it.
a little try. So we'll
August
talk. We'll talk.
22nd in
Yes, we'll talk.
2022. So we both are actually working on our books.
Yes, we
Mine,
are.
of course, will be, well, it will, of course, be about speaking up, but it's called
When
Road
is
to
your
Freedom.
coming out? When is your coming out?
Well, I was thinking about September, but if I can
No,
manage
no,
to
no,
have it
no,
written
lady.
this
When is
month.
your birthday? When is your birthday, lady?
Oh,
You
that's March
September too.
2nd. That's too long away. No, I want to have it
Oh,
done in
September.
September or something.
Yes, please. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what's the title of your book going to be? Mine is Road to Freedom.
Uh,
What's yours?
what is your name? What is the title? Yours?
Road to Freedom.
Oof. I don't know. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Honestly, with you, when I was doing the talking with what's her name? I'm sorry. What's her name? I gotta get this
The
right.
one
What's
I
her
go
name?
live with, Chicky Joe.
No, no, no. What's her name? The lady that chanted our books.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I know who you mean. Yeah,
Okay. Well, what it calls when I was talking to Kira. Okay,
yeah,
when I was talking to her, she was saying basically that my book is supposed to be like a roadmap or what of like for different people. Which I honestly with you, all our books will be roadmap maps because I'm gonna have all of you guys books, every single one of them because I love. Oh, I can't wait until I read every single one of them. So she was talking about that it will be like a road map or a road book. But in my book, honestly with you, I have been pasting a lot. So basically, I personally think my book is gonna have something to do a cage lion wanting to be out.
yeah.
So
Nice.
I don't know exactly what is the name of it, but if you can see a lion, a hungry lion pasting around, remember me. 8/20 is my
Yeah,
birthday,
I
so I'm a
will.
Leo.
I will. So, do you know that I actually already have written a book? Actually, I've written several
Great.
books, but one which is on
Favorite
Amazon.
books? Oh my.
That
Yeah.
it's called Uncovering Your Mindset. So it's already out there on Amazon as an
In
ebook.
Amazon, put it down on the book because honestly with you, once I have a little money, I want to get the Unbreakable t-shirt from Terry. I want to get the book. There's a specific book that he was actually, which I listened to the podcast, and he was talking about like the books and the strategies of the books and how to write the books. So me personally, I'm gonna be 20 days figuring it out. And but she said that it don't have to be difficulty because me personally I'm very professional. So but this one right here, she said it's gonna be more like for yourself. So basically I might use it like more like a diary. It's gonna be basically like a picture book on which people you know can just relate. It's gonna be a lot of different. It's gonna have everything. It's gonna have stripping, abandon. It's gonna have abuse. It's gonna be have orphanage. It's gonna have nuns. It's gonna have people like loss. It's gonna have D Block, which is my ex. Famous people. It's gonna have anything and everything that you can think of. That book is gonna have because my mouth has no filter. So I've been pasting around. So everybody that ever so ears are gonna be sounding when my book comes out
Yeah.
because your name might be in the book. So be ready.
Yeah, well, just put down Lady Lexi.
Yeah, I will, Lexi, and give me your phone, your book, so then like that I can read it. Cause
Yeah, I'll send you
I
the
like to
link. I
implement.
also posted it in the notes. So it's called
Perfect.
Uncovering Your Mindsets. Actually, if you look for Lady Lexi, Uncovering the
Oh,
mindset, you will find it. And my first priority actually was to get it printed out there. That's what I got stuck doing. I actually had it released, as an
mhm.
ebook, and I would love to see it actually be out there in the printed version.
Yes, honestly with you, it will be. So, I think all of our books are gonna be there because honestly with you, I was thinking about it today, and honestly with you, I thought about it like how we even like got in touch with everybody because it all started with you know YouTube, and it all started with for me. So Evan is gonna be in the book too because it all started with a YouTube, like with a little please if you want classes
Yeah, in my book Road
of
to
my
Freedom, I
teachings.
mentioned him too.
Yes, of my teachings, you know, link here. And since I linked there, and ever since January of 2021 when I had my crush. So a crush is gonna be there. I was reborn because I died, and but God told me no, you can't leave. You got your little ones. I was already dead, so I died that day. But unfortunately, he said not today. You didn't.
Well, I'm
So car
glad you're
photos.
here. I'm
Yeah.
glad you are here. I always love talking to you.
So but yeah, let me like not tell you everything because it's gonna be juicier when you read the book. It's gonna be juicy, tasty. You're gonna be have glitter. You're gonna be like, wow, this actually. And she said the red carpet is gonna be out. So you know me. Tell me
Yeah.
anything, and I will make it happen. And
Well,
50
I
Cent.
think
50 Cent. One
Road.
second. One more second, lady. And I'm gonna say this. 50 Cent, if you're listening to me, boy, ever since I got the fake text message that you wanted me to go and you know visit me, yes, you're gonna be walking me in my red pocket in the red carpet to my book, welcoming my book. I'm
Good,
joking.
good. I love it. I love it.
I'm
Yeah,
joking,
well,
but it's
I think
gonna
that,
happen. I'm gonna stalk him.
yeah, well, don't stalk him. But
Oh, I have.
it's nice to be able to send it to someone,
No,
to their
no.
manager or something, and
No,
that
he
they
got
can.
good books. He came out with two books. He came out with 50 Laws of that's 50 Cent, and then he came out with another book on which I started to read, which was like Get Rich and no, that was the movie. He came out with another book in which he said, he's playing his story. And honestly, with you, his story, my story, everybody's stories have some type of similarities. Books basically you go there to learn to teach them, so I'm always
Yeah.
learning, so I'm always there.
Yeah,
But lady,
the book I already written is literally about how do those mindsets come into existence. So
correct.
they go, I tell a little story, and then someone starts to explore things that happened in their past, in their youth, and which made them into who they are. And the road to freedom is basically how I became Lady Lexi.
I love that
That's
name.
all I'm going to say
they,
about
were,
it.
they you were you ever like a biker, lady? Were you
Like
ever
what?
rode a bike?
Yeah, of course.
That's why you got the name.
But do you mean a bike as in a motor on the highway, or
Yes,
bike as in?
a motorcycle, a
Oh,
motorbike. I
no, no,
know.
no, no. I
No.
haven't. I always wanted to, but I've got problems with my wrists and my elbows,
Yeah.
so it's. I'm not certain if I can. I always wanted it, though. I always
Well,
wanted to.
that's listen. You must read that, but even if it's a
If
little
I'm
moped,
strong enough and my
a
joints
moped,
are.
a little moped. You know that little mopeds. Get in one of those, like borrow it and put that in the book.
Well, I do have a picture of myself, posting on a motorbike, so we can use it.
That's awesome. I can't wait to read your
Yeah, and I
book.
love to be, on the back and riding along
Good.
with others. So,
Yes, that'd be nice. That'd be awesome.
mm.
Yeah, that's like I love relationships. The flowers, the movies, candlelight dinners. riding on the bikes. I like all of that. But honestly with you, I'm not trying to do none of that because I fell in love too quick. So that's why I don't even go out.
Yeah, and it's nice, but let's be honest, that's not what day-to-day life is going to be like.
No,
And that's the
unfortunately,
whole thing.
yeah, unfortunately, basically dating is like a question mark. Please fill out all the dots and let me see if you are fine. No, I'm joking. It's true
Yeah.
though. Uh,
Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. So, those for you who are still watching, if you want to
Thank
learn
you
how to
guys.
speak up, there's a link to jakarcc.com. Start to speak out now. Of course, there's my book about the mindset, what we talked about, uncovering your
Yep.
mindsets, which is available on Amazon. And both
Great.
Mariella and I are working on our next books. So keep an eye
This
on that.
month coming up, lady. So
Yep.
so come on. All right. You got plenty. I know you have plenty of information. So it's all about just down.
I've got so much to talk about.
Yes.
But I will say this, whatever you do out
Mm-hmm.
there, trust yourself. And it's so important to trust your instincts, talk to others, figure out what are they saying, what feels good, and then you probably know, okay, this is a good thing or not. But don't ever try to change yourself for someone else. Don't
It's
expect other
not what
people to change for you, and don't let them ever alienate you from your friends, your family, but instead know that support is so important to make the right decisions. Anything else to
well
add, or
said.
can we?
No,
That's
well
good.
said, lady. Well said. We'll leave it like that. Well said.
Okay. Thank you so
We'll
much.
we'll see you tomorrow,
Yeah.
11:30. Movement makers.
Yes. Okay. And for the others, see you next
Oh
week.
no, wait, 10:30. I think. Bye bye. Bye, lady.